Valentine's Day is just around the corner, and you're going to need something sweet for your sweet someone. If you want to impress that someone with a delicious dessert, stay tuned. I think this is a great recipe for Valentine's Day. It's no bake, pretty fast, simple ingredients, and it is so chocolatey. So good. I mean, you could eat a glass of milk. A glass of wine would be good, a glass of milk also good. Very simple. I'm just starting with 4 ounces of cream cheese that I've softened at room temperature. And I'm adding a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And that may sound kind of weird, but the salt kind of counteracts the chocolate, and you can taste the salt, but it's not like a salted caramel salt. Try it. Just trust me. You want to add the salt to it. If you leave it out, you can totally tell the difference. And then I'm just going to add about a tablespoon of Kahlua, which you don't have to do if you prefer not to. I'm going to beat this until it's just smooth. Okay, so that's the cheesecake part. Now it's time for the chocolate part. I'm going to make a ganache. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat some heavy whipping cream in the microwave until it just starts to steam. You don't want it to boil, but you want it to be hot, because then I'm going to pour it over these chocolate chips and melt them until they make the ganache. So let me heat this. Be right back. My heavy whipping cream, and I'm going to pour it over 1.5 cups of mini semi-sweet chocolate morsels. You don't have to use mini for this part of the recipe, but if you're using them for the top, and we are, may as well use the morsels out of the same bag. So I'm just going to stir to incorporate the morsels that have now melted completely with the heavy cream. And the more that I stir it, you can see it's starting to get darker and darker and velvety and smooth. See, it's pretty amazing. It went from looking like chocolate milk to actual chocolate ganache. See how good that looks? And it smells divine. I'm just going to pour a chocolate mixture in with the cheesecake mixture. Get every little bit of chocolatey goodness out of here. And then take the mixer and just incorporate all this together. Make sure to scrape down the sides so that you don't see any of the white of the cream cheese. Everything mixed in. Okay, that looks pretty good. Gotta move my mixer. Then for the base, I bought a pre-baked chocolate pie crust. This is the kind that has the nuts in it, but you can buy the one that's just an Oreo crust or just a plain chocolate graham cracker crust. Then I'm going to pour the chocolate mixture into the crust. And this is pretty much it. For a garnish, I have about a 1/4 cup of the mini semi-sweet morsels. Sprinkle it all over the top. You want to put this in the refrigerator pretty quickly, uncovered, for 3 hours. After 3 hours, you can cover it until you're ready to eat. But if you don't cover it, if you go ahead and cover it, then it might steam, because this is still pretty warm. And you want it to get solid, not steamy. And that is it. This is going to feed about 10 people. This is super rich. So I'm going to put it in the fridge, and I'll be right back. So I just pulled the pie out of the fridge. It's been in there for, I'm gonna say, about 8 hours. And now I'm gonna cut this baby. The texture is so much like a real cheesecake, but you also have the texture of like a really good chocolate truffle. And the first piece never comes out pretty, so let's see how this works. Not too bad. Good. Now to taste. Definitely chocolatey. I recommend a glass of red wine or a glass of skim milk. Happy Valentine's Day.
If you'd like to see more recipes like this, please subscribe. For complete ingredients and cooking instructions and to purchase cookbooks, visit Catering by Debbi Covington.